Customize your records. You don't want the same message going to everybody. You can say what action's been made on there. Are they pending? What do you want to tell a pending person? If the decision's made, we always think of positive acceptances, but what if that is a rejection? What kind of message do you want them to get from your university? Once a person tells you they're going to attend your university, having a communication plan to start the admitted student conversations and what they can expect when they get there, their housing information, their financial aid information, all kinds of cool things. Set up Hobson's attributes to help identify action or timed items, maybe their admission decision date, seat deposit due date, will attend dates. That kind of thing can drive what your messages are. And we're going to talk about some of those. Not all of our customers are the same. For example, with us, we have prospects. If our prospects come through and we download our GMAT data into the system, if someone has a high GMAT, we want to really love that person. We want to really court that person. So what we do at Virginia Tech is we have in our communication plan, we have a letter coming off from our dean that says, I personally encourage you to apply. I print those off, he signs them, and we get them in the mail, okay? On the flip side of that, what if somebody comes in at half the score that we're looking for? We don't want to keep loving them and say apply, 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 and then them apply tomorrow, and then we have to say, oh, I'm glad you applied, but you don't qualify. We would look crazy to court those people and then let them down. So with those, what we would do is we would send them a little message about Virginia Tech, a very positive public message, if you will, linking them to our website, encouraging them to retake their GMAT, telling them what we look at, what we require, and then we opt them out because we don't want to keep loving them, okay? That's a communication process that we've kind of set up, talking about the high GMATs and the lower GMATs. Request for information. If somebody requests information, we have kind of a basic template that we send out to start with, and then depending on what feedback that we get from them will depend on what communication path that they go down. And recruitment events. We actually have the events and interview portion of Hobson's, but we don't use it. We have our own little thing that we do, and we set up and send reminders of events and things like that. Your applicants. Depending on your applicant stage, will depend on what kind of messaging that you want to send to those people. Are they missing information? Are they qualified? Do they need to retake tests? Where are they in the system? International versus domestic. This is a really big decision that you make in your communication pipeline because you want to tell your international students more about your university from an international perspective. Where might they find housing? We have an international student service center, so we want to tell them about it. Our domestic students, they wouldn't care as much about knowing about that, but there's some things that you'll want to tell your international population versus your domestic population. Special programs. At Virginia Tech, we actually have several simultaneous programs and dual programs. You can come into our MBA program, and you can also get a degree from the Osteopathic School of Medicine. So you can be a doctor and get an MBA at the same time. It's a simultaneous program. So if I have somebody interested in that, I'm going to treat them a lot differently than somebody that's just interested in an MBA because there's things that we want to tell that population. So you probably have special kinds of leads, special kinds of applicants in your pipeline that you want to communicate different messages to. Your admits, your decision type. What happens when a student's rejected? You want to make sure and cut off your communications. You don't want to send something saying, we want to invite you to something tomorrow when we rejected you today. Just simple things like that to keep in mind. Financial aid. I attended a great session yesterday and hope you guys got to take advantage of that on financial aid. We take ours a little bit further than what they do as far as we actually send our financial aid award letters. We're graduates, so our awards are fellowship and assistantships, and they're in-house. We actually house those decisions and things like that. So we actually will send out a message to a person telling them how much aid that they've been awarded and what they need to do to collect that aid as well. And attendance information. When somebody tells you they're not going to attend your university, they're attending somewhere else, you don't want to keep hounding them and hounding them and hounding them with emails. Make sure that when they say, I will not attend, that you kind of cut your losses at that point with that applicant. Or you can tell them different messaging. You just have to be careful with what your message is. And if they will attend, then you want to start in with your admitted student, telling them what they need to do to prepare to attend Virginia Tech, your orientation events and things of that nature. So